What's happening, YouTube? My name's Immortal Coil, coming to you live from the Honey Bucket. A very appropriate setting for this review of the final trailer of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
So we open with Mare Ray Sue practicing with a remote, which echoes the other trailer, except this time she's dropping a helmet. Now here's what's funny, because the younglings, remember them, and Luke both used variations of helmets when they were training with remotes. So now Rey has inherited a helmet from somewhere. So we see her using the Force to leap across a giant chasm. And then it also transitions to Rey either in an alternate timeline or location on the Death Star 2. Now this sequence, I believe, was supposed to address the lack of training, but since Rey needed none, this is actually practice. It's not her training. Then we hear from FN radio.
It's an instinct, a feeling. The Force brought us together.
And for some reason, through binoculars, he's creeping on tiny Rey. Then we hear from Po' Boy.
Good people will fight if we lead them.
And we also see that the latest pointer scene takes place on not Yavin base. We got Pando Lando front and center, who hasn't changed his clothes in 40 years. 3PO and It's a Trap Jr. are both there. Then we see Rose Tico running to save the one she loves. EVS. Chewbacca is getting ready to bowcast the Poe and FN radio's ass. I mean, look at that look of anger. And then we see a Corvette rising over the trees. Now what is this, the Tantive 5? Because don't tell me it's 4. 4 got captured by the Empire. And then finally we hear Mary Sue open her mouth.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
We see that Rey confronts Kylo Ben on a piece of the Death Star, which, thanks to my buddy Drunk 3PO, we know is on the ocean moon of Kef Beer. Kef Beer. TIE fighters here are converging at Avatar Aang's iceberg, only to find the Iron Throne. And against visuals of Star Destroyers rising, the Resistance fleet with the Ghost, thanks Generation Tech, effin' Poe Dameron and her pet Chewie, and then Reylo fighting, not kissing. There's a big space explosion, and the Disney 3 are on a planet salt skipper, which can also skip water in this movie. We hear from the Senate.
Long have I waited, and now your coming together is your undoing.
Now this is a very interesting phrase, because one of the rumors about the Rise of Skywalker is that Rey is rumored to be capable of raising both the Death Star and the dead. Now, it's funny because we haven't heard about anybody defeating death since our good old friend Darth Plagueis the Wise back in Revenge of the Sith. And I was trying to figure out what this was. I was talking to my buddy Black Angus Reviews. His theory is that this goes along with, we kind of see Kylo Ben with a blue lightsaber, is that she kills Kylo Ren and resurrects Ben. I think that's an interesting theory. Go bother Black Angus about that if you want to hear more. But that also blows my mind, because if Rey can raise the dead, why wouldn't she just raise Anakin or Luke or all the old Jedi Masters and have like 20 of them coming at Sidious, overwhelming him? Because that doesn't make Rey look good. Rey has to save the day somehow, but it's not going to be like that. She's going to have to find some other way to demasculinize the Emperor of the Galaxy. And moving on, we see 3PO getting ready to be given a robotomy by a Mogwai, I guess. For what reason? For self-sacrifice? Maybe his memories are restored or transferred to R2, because we also see a battle droid back there. And if you remember in episode 2, he had a little bit of a run-in with the battle droids. Buff, Christmas. And I'm actually surprised Disney is even acknowledging Christmas, because it's a Christian holiday, right? Very diverse, guys. We got Po' Boy, we got FN Radio, we got Chewbacca going full Battlefront, where we see Finn gunning down other people who were taken as babies and raised alongside him. You know, maybe one of these guys is actually his toilet cleaning buddy, like in Full Metal Jacket.
I want to slip my tube stick into your sister. What are you taking trade? What do you got?
We see Leia doing what Leia does best. No, not that. This. Hugging Rey. Aww. Good job, sweetie. And we finally hear from Force Ghost Jake.
Confronting fear. It's the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny.
Now here's what's weird, if you consider what's been going on in this sequel trilogy to have any sort of cohesive story. It's Jake Skywalker turned out to be a piece of shit who, after redeeming his father and saving the galaxy, he gets butthurt when Kylo Ben has a bad dream and retreats to planet Mercamel. But somehow after, Rey poked him with a stick and stormed off on the Falcon, he decided that she was right and he needs to not get in his X-Wing, but to astral project himself to planet Salt. And since that took so much out of him and he died, he's a Force ghost now, so he gets to be wise again. And it's sad that he has to die for us to hear him say something that sounds kind of like Luke Skywalker. So we see Beach Ball 8 fighting some bad robot in a net on not Endor, while FN3P Po knock over a moisture evaporator on not Boonta Eve, sand jizzing all over us. I think I got something in my eye there. Pando and Chewbacca in the Falcon, but we already know how that goes. There's an attack on a Star Destroyer, and the real reason the Lucas saga ends is that the rumor is that George Lucas gets a cut of all the characters that he came up with. And that's the real reason, but the trailer still wants us to know that BB-8 leading the charge, the story lives forever. And then we saw this, the Game of Thrones scene. Even though the Game of Thrones and Star Wars got divorced. Holy leaping FN radio! Holy racing the dead! Oh, Colonial Fen 3 PPO. And we see the Cavalry, General Beach Ball 8, yeah. Is this Custard's last stand one more time? Yeah, thanks. This is actually not Return of the Jedi. Then we hear the cackling of Darth staple us to the new improved Chosen One. Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to say Rey is a Chosen One. Like the Force just vomits up Chosen Ones every 20, 30, 40 years. That is insane. That's asinine, because if that were the case, we would have heard about other Chosen Ones in the Jedi archives or in the Sith holocrons. Because every time a Chosen One comes up, well, they basically fuck the hell out of the orders of Force users. So we hear from Jake one more time. And Leia Skywalker.
The Force will be with you.
Always.
And then Rey goes, "Yep." So that's the new trailer. I didn't feel that we got much more than we have already seen. We got a couple of little tidbits. We knew some of the stuff that was going to be there. But basically, John Williams is God, and ILM are visual magicians. The film is not yet rated, and younger viewers may be disturbed by some of what's in here. I know I'm disturbed by it, but I'm a middle-aged white guy, right? But really, it's to the point that I think this is evidence that even Disney does not know what they're doing. And we have just about a little bit over a month before the film drops. So, what are we going to get? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Let me know in the comments.
So, there you have it. My breakdown and analysis of the final trailer of Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. My name's Immortal Coil. Like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment. Let me know what you want to see covered on future editions of Savage Spirituality. Check out my friends in the Fandom Menace. We're a group of channels dedicated to calling out the bullshit that passes as entertainment in 2019. And remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through them, and also can tell when bullshit is happening on the screen before our eyes. I just dropped a Ryan Johnson.